in this video, we will answer one of the comment from one of our previous video. So basically, one of our subscriber, he sounds like he was asking for advice, or maybe he was just sharing his experience or struggle being married to a Filipina.
That can be a struggle.
Yeah. So this can be a warning, or maybe there are some foreigners that can relate, because this is not the first time that we heard about this kind of a situation, you know, drama, Filipino family drama, or about money, whatever. So I think there's a lot of foreigners can relate to this. Yeah.
I would think so.
So anyway, I'm gonna read a comment. So he said, my biggest problem with the Filipina I married and brought to the UK is that she's sending away more money to her family in the Philippines than what we agreed to send. Let's stop right there. What's your opinion on that?
Well, my first opinion, he shouldn't have brought her to the UK. Well, I'm joking about the UK thing. That's because I'm a UK citizen, but I left a long time ago. So it wouldn't be my choice to go.
You think it has something to do with the country? Because
No.
No?
No. No, I don't think so. It's just a common mistake foreigners make with their Filipino when it comes to money.
Yeah, like if you guys are married, like she should respect your opinion. If you're not comfortable sending money, if you guys already agreed on sending that amount of money, she should stick on that, because he said that she's sending way more money than what they agreed.
Well, that's the big problem here is in the beginning of this comment is, according to him, they had an agreement. So why is he allowing her to break that agreement would be my question.
Yeah, that he let that happen.
You know, I really wish men could be men and lead their households, and not in a bossy way, but in a biblical way. You know, you always work with your spouse and make agreements with each other, and hopefully you'll agree on most things as we do. You know, and but when you make an agreement, you should stick by it. And if your spouse, either way, actually, it's not just for the woman, for the man, if you are breaking an agreement you already had, then that's just wrong. I think, again, from the man's perspective, he's got to be the man at this point. Say, look, we made the agreement, that's the deal, end of story. Don't complain about it later, that, she's sending more than I want. That sounds a little bit, I'm sorry if I'm insulting anybody, but sounds a little bit weak. Sounds a little bit weak to me.
You should wear these t-shirts. I was smiling because
it's my famous.
You're saying that and you're wearing that kind of clothes.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, isn't it? I didn't even think
That's
about
hilarious. That's a bad shirt to wear in this video.
I've worn it on many videos, but yeah, good point. Anyway, but you see my point. It's like, if we'd made an agreement on something, first of all, if you let's put ourselves in that situation, and you said to me, look, honey, my family needs more money than we agreed. Is that going to be okay with you? Can we send? If I say, yeah, sure, then you have a new agreement. If I say, look, this is what we agreed, this is what I can afford, that's the end of it. I say, sorry, honey, that's it. What are you going to say?
I would not even bother to ask you, because...
Well, if I'm giving a hypothetical.
I would respect it, because that's I have to respect you as my husband. And for her, I'm really disappointed that she would do that to her husband, especially if they're married. You guys are one when it comes to making decision. Like, you have to respect your husband.
You should respect each other.
Yes.
But when there's a difference of agreement, for instance, I think that there has to be some respect. I think the man has to make sometimes the final decision when you're not in agreement.
I agree. Yeah, he has to take responsibilities, because he let that happen. in
Yeah.
the relationship.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
anyway, let's continue. Meaning we can't even save anything at all, not even for a holiday to visit the Philippines. Yeah. Her sister always crying no money and she believes that, and they just bought a new motorbike in the Philippines. Wow. Someone who doesn't have food won't be able to do that, but my wife doesn't listen. Just be aware, all men, that this doesn't happen to you, that her lazy family will drain you to the bones.
Well, you're allowing it to happen. That's the issue I have.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
sit there telling me that the family's draining you to the bones. I mean, what did you do? Give complete all your financial access to your spouse and say use it anytime you want?
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm not a control freak. Some people accuse me that of being that, I guess. But when it comes to money in our relationship, I've dealt with money all my life. I mean, it's been my job in many cases.
And we never had an argument about money.
No,
That's why.
Well, first of all, because you respect that I'm going to handle the money in the right way,
Yeah.
and I'm not being insulting because you're a very intelligent woman. You do things very well, but I can handle money better than you can.
I agree.
I just
can't
can.
argue
I
with
know
that.
On that last comment, he made a comment that they can't even afford to go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
maybe
vacation.
their family can afford to come to UK.
And he just found out that they bought a motorbike too. There are some family members that would be so good when it comes to manipulation, when it comes to getting their own way. And sometimes, not all, there's a lot of good Filipina, but there are some that, that can be disappointing as well when it comes to
course.
this. Because if they don't get their own way, they would soak and do the thing tampo.
The tempo thing.
Yes, do you agree?
Yeah, some would, yeah.
Yeah, that's their way to manipulate their foreigner partner sometimes, because they can't say no to their family. So she would go to her husband and try to manipulate the husband to give her the money to send to her family. And it's okay if it's for emergencies, like if they cannot afford to buy rice, or it's like a medical emergency. I mean, that's
Of
okay
course.
to give, but it to the point that you would be taken advantage by her family, and they would not be so responsible when it comes to spending the money. Like for example, sometimes they would borrow money or loan money so they can have a birthday party. Do you agree on that? Like they like to have a big party, like fiesta. They want to buy lechon, and that's expensive.
Again, one of the messages that we give on many videos is don't set that expectation at the
Yes.
beginning where they think you're going to provide for them. Unfortunately, there are families out here, especially when their daughters marry a foreigner. There's an expectation. Oh, great! We just hit the jackpot. We're gonna get money now.
Yeah.
There is that expectation sometimes, and you know what? If that's not what you want to do, make it very clear at the beginning, and don't do it. No matter how they try to manipulate you or what they say. Of course, exceptions if you know for a fact they're starving, or there's medical care you can help with and they absolutely have to have it. Of course, I'm not saying don't ever reach out and help. What we're trying to advise you is to not be taken advantage of.
Yep.
Which is what does happen. And as you say, they'll sometimes start getting money, or they'll rely on getting an allowance, and then they're using it not for food or for living expenses, but for buying luxuries like motorcycles or
Yes.
whatever they're doing.
Yes.
And if you're wealthy, you can afford it, and that's what you want to do. You can do whatever you want with your money. But we're addressing the men that are complaining about how their women or the families take advantage of them.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of finding the good Filipina. Some Filipina would not let their family to take advantage of their husband. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but if you find a bad one that be already being manipulated by her family, she would try her best to drain you to the bones, like this guy said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This is important subject to keep discussing with people and reminding foreigners, because the culture over here is a lot more family orientated.
Yes.
So although you're not technically marrying into the family when you marry your Filipina, and sometimes it feels like you're bringing on the whole family. And if you don't want that, you have to kind of be very honest about it from the beginning.
Yes, I know, and don't set the expectation as you said, because you would be end up in a very bad situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Is that the whole comment?
that's the whole comment.
Okay,
That's
well-
pretty much about it.
Well, again, I really want to emphasize to foreigners that are watching. There may be foreigners watching this that are probably looking at themselves right now saying, yeah, I'm
guilty.
I'm guilty. I'm kind of giving more than I want. In some cases, they'll give more than they want and they don't even want to tell their spouse. They kind of keep it to themselves because they don't want to appear cheap or they don't want to appear like they can't afford it.
Yeah.
The ego maybe gets into it a little bit. But I'm telling you now, if you want a successful relationship with your Filipina, which is, again, one thing we're always trying to help people with, I think it's one of our strongest pieces of advice that we give is how to have successful relationships.
Yeah.
So if you really want to succeed in your relationship, then be very honest from the beginning. Don't give in to pressure.
Yep.
And be the man of the household, be the man of the relationship, and not the boss, not demanding. It's not like a military command over your wife. It is being a leader, a provider, a spiritual leader. We have our roles, especially as Christian men. We have our roles as a man, and you have your roles as a woman. And when we both equally do our jobs, then you're going to find that your marriage works pretty good and you're going to find happiness.
I agree. And one thing I learned also about the comment, like the Filipina, it's not fair for her to give all that responsibilities for her husband, because they both work hard in the UK, and then it's not fair for the guy to support her. It's not his responsibility. I mean,
look, the fairness issue, I'm sorry, you're making me think. It starts at the family, because the family, when I say family, there's usually mother, father, then it could be expanded to aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, or whatever.
it can expand.
It does, but starting, mother and father is normally where it begins. They tend to put pressure on their children to provide for them. So, even if they're not with a foreigner, there's pressure to go out and work and send all their money to their parents. I mean, how many people do we know that, even in our experience with people that work for us, all their money goes
to the family.
Every penny.
Really sad.
It really does, not even much. But so there's already that expectation of getting money. But when the foreigner comes on the scene, it's ching ching.
Ching, that's like sprinkle.
Yeah, and not all foreigners are wealthy, by the way. I think that's another misconception. The Filipinos have about foreigners. They think we're all wealthy.
Not all Filipinos think that way, unless you're dating a Filipina that have a successful family. Like they're rich, they're raised in a rich family, but like they're poor, grow up poor. You have to expect that they're gonna think that way.
Yeah, well, I guess when you go to the deep province family that lives in a mud hut or whatever, stick hut or whatever it is, of course, any foreigner's going to appear rich compared with that kind of standard, I guess.
Yeah, and again, if they're spending the money, they're being responsible about it, like they're spending it on food, I mean, that's reasonable. But if they're spending it like motorbike, gambling, drinking beer, like we went to our province and it's in the afternoon, they're drinking Red Horse, like crazy.
Yeah. And the final comment on the money issue, and it's so important, is a lot of people might say, well, there's nothing wrong. I like to be generous. I like to give. That's great, but don't do it right away, because you change the whole dynamics of the relationship from the beginning. There becomes an expectation, even with your girlfriend or the person you're dating, that you're going to be spoiling her and giving her a high standard of life right from the beginning, and that expectation. I think it's better to take your time and establish a real relationship, fall in love, make a commitment, maybe you're going to get married, and then it's okay to start becoming more generous. And then if you feel like you want to just help the family because you can.
You get
It makes more
extra.
sense if you're married and you got married for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Then I think it's okay. But just don't be manipulated from the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't be just throwing out money. I don't know this situation on that comment, but here's the point is, maybe he started off at the beginning being generous. I mean, they had agreement, so he was already giving something, and probably giving her money too. So he already gave her this expectation from the beginning. And I'm just saying, why don't you just take your time? They were doing fine just before you met them. You know, you can just allow the relationship to develop and do it the right way. Otherwise, you may never actually get to the point where you have real love, because it'll all be based on what you've been doing for them.
Yes, I agree. We always talk about that
Yes.
from the previous video so many times.
Yeah.
Because it's very important in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. We just want to see you guys have happy, successful marriages,
Yes.
you know, like God intended.
Yes. So I hope they learned something about this video. I really do.
Well, those that are spending too much money, they better learn something. I'm telling you straight, stop doing it. It's your own good
Yes.
and happiness.
Exactly. So thank you guys for joining with us until the end. And don't forget to share your thoughts on this topic, by the way. Like if you need advice about something,
If you need
wanna-
money,
No, we can't
Joke.
help with that.
Joe, after what we've been through, my goodness.
Yeah,
Which
not because of me and my family though.
no, we're
Because of him, it's expensive.
upcoming videos of what's going on. Little quick teaser. We're moving in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
So if you have anything to share about your experience dating a Filipina, advice, please don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section. So maybe we'll do another video on something else.
Sure.
So thank you guys for sticking with us till the end, and we'll see you in our next video.
God
Bye.
bless.
God bless everyone.